another one of the reasons I had a friendship breakup with God was because I internalized the messaging that you have to always be happy. You have to always be happy, ecstatic, and have those lighter emotions in order to magnetize the life of your dreams. Like, you can't have denser emotions. You can't feel guilt, jealousy, despondency, sadness, pain, angst, despair, shame, and still be kind of a conscious creator. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. First of all, creation's for everybody. We all are creators. We're all made in the image of God, so we all are creators, number one. So it's your, not even your birthright, it's just like the mechanism you're born with. So you're always creating, and we wouldn't have the capacity, wouldn't have such elastic emotions where we can feel highs and lows if we weren't meant to feel them. So I think manifestation communities and culture can really demonize emotions, and they're not to be demonized at all. There is truth in this idea of the emotional scale and magnetizing according to where you kind of sit more often, where you sit 51% of the time. But the good news is that it's just 51% of the time. You know, I don't think it has to be 100% of the time. It can't be 100% of the time, but the more you move from, beautiful butterfly, the more you move from 51% of the time to 52, 53, 54, 55, up, the more you magnetize things that are in alignment with what you want to experience, which are things that bring you joy, peace, comfort, ease, feelings of safety. And mind you, the manifestation is like the state of being. Like, your emotional state is what you manifest, and then the byproduct is the thing itself, is whatever material thing. But a really good way to think about it is, don't think about how can I get happy. Okay, there are two ways. If you already are somebody who has practiced emotional discipline, where you're not constantly reactive and kind of triggered, hella reactive to whatever's in your environment. If you're somebody who has that emotional discipline, you can think, how can I get 10% happier? Or how can I feel better by just 10%? That framing's okay for you. It won't trigger you that idea of feeling happy or better. But those of you who don't have necessarily that practice, who haven't had to, or ever, who didn't know that like emotions are something you can have discipline with, you know, you just thought emotions were things that happen to you because of your environment. So if you're new to this, don't think, how can I get happier? Because that, you can end up feeling gaslit, and I don't think that feels very friendly. The idea of like, how can I get happy? It feels judgmental, kind of. It can feel like that. Rather think, how can I feel less trash in this moment? How can I feel less bad? How can I go from, out of 10, feeling like a 3 to a 4, or from a 0 to a 1, or from a 5 to a 6? Whatever you can do to just get 10% less dense is a really good way to think about it. And it's doable, because sometimes all it means is, maybe I should just put on like my favorite song, or like revisit my favorite meme, or just get outside and just sit in the sunshine while I scroll. You know, I'm going to doom scroll, but let me do it in the sun. So that's more doable than thinking, how can I be ecstatic, you know, and go to a 10? No, that's way too high a jump, and that'll really discourage you. And I don't think, you don't have to be like excited over the moon to create consciously. You just have to have some awareness and some will to just feel a little better, like 10% better or 10% less bad, if that's a better phrasing for you. Like, start there. Yeah. I hope that's helpful. That was really helpful for me, because I feel less, sometimes saying, how can you get happy, feels like a gentle, subliminal dog whistle for toxic positivity, and you don't need that. You don't need to pretend. You just need to want to massage yourself to a slightly better feeling than the one you had. If you wake up at an 8 out of 10, how can you get to a 9? You can leave it there. If you wake up at a 0 out of 10, how can you get to a 1? Leave it there. That's enough. Because our emotions are meant to be had, but we don't have to live there. You can always, if you want to, feel a little bit better. And that's super helpful in the creative process, because the creative process is that we feel better, right? We want the things we want because we think we'll feel better for them. And so if you can just feel better for the sake of feeling better, that is creation. And like, that literally is it. You know, you've done it.